Yeah.
You know, the last time I even paid attention to the game was the YouTuber Cup, which I thought was a huge insult to the community because they take people that already get free stuff from Gaijin, and then they say, you know what, compete in this tournament where you've got nothing to lose, only reputation to gain additionally, and we're going to give you 100,000 gold and an E100 on top of that. And it's like, that's such an insult to the community. And I remember because I explicitly messaged Gaijin, I said, hey, are you guys okay with me giving the gold away? Like, I'd love to if we win, and I knew we were going to win because just the way the teams were put together. Can I give this away to my community? And they were like, no. I thought, you know, then it's you've screwed up. And that's when I started making those really aggressive videos that actually did quite popular. And I felt quite good doing it because I felt like I was, you know, rubbing it back into them. And it's unfortunate, no? Because I think most of us that were active players or active content creators, we saw the potential, and the potential never got anywhere close to the maximum.
And we were going to participate in that tournament, but we
I
were cut
remember,
off
of
like
course.
the last week.
I was actually in the call. I'm never going to forget this. And I did something very disrespectful, I think, because I knew there were Gaijin employees in the call. I didn't really give a rat's ass. And I think it was you explicitly that was mentioned about how you guys are actually semi-pro players. And even though that you make some of the greatest kill montages of the game and kill compilations, it was like, he's not really a YouTuber, he's just a pro player. And I heard that and I thought, holy shit, like we're being gifted, you know, a tournament where there's going to have no competition. It's supposed to be just entertainment. Obviously, you could argue that having you and Panther and NST and you know, a bunch of the Polish guys that I knew, obviously would have been, you know, unfair, quote unquote, because somebody like me, who was at the time playing quite casually, just wouldn't be able to compete. But that's not the point. The point is, if you're going to invite content creators, you have to invite all content creators. And I remember that time in the chat, I don't know what I did, but I must have like just made some random cat noises or whatever. I was screwing around because I was so fed up with it, and then it kicked me out of it. And it's just a funny memory that remained. But I felt genuinely like that was the end for me. It was like the whatever respect I still had was gone.
I didn't know about that. I did know that. I think someone mentioned to me that they cut us out because they, well, they said one of our team members were, well, he was breaking some rule, and instead of just kicking him and letting us get Def in, which we tried to do, they just blew the whole team off. And I tried to get into another team, not because I wanted an E100. I had one already. But I wanted to participate just because it was fun. Yeah.
No, it was.
So I definitely get you.
It was such an insult. I think initially what actually happened was they wanted to get the Russians. So the Russian part of the community had their own tournament. All the Russian content creators fighting all the Russian content creators, and they had the same rewards. And then they made this one for the Europeans, and they still invited the Russians. And we were like, whoa, 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 you can't give them two chances, right? And obviously in my head, because I'm a bit of a, I had all connections. I knew Think, I knew the clan and the cat, and whatever they were called, clans. And my original thought was like, well, if I want to do well in this tournament, I'll just get you and I'll get all the bunch of the good guys. I'll just surround myself with quote unquote pro players and I'll win, you know. And then they were just like, yeah, we're not going to let these guys play. What do you mean you're not going to let them play? They make content. You know, they may not make entertainment, clickbaity videos of the dev server every 5 minutes, but they're contributing to the game just as much as everybody else, perhaps even more, because you're actually teaching people how to be better. I was like, and now you're not going to let them play because what? They're too good? Isn't that the point of a tournament, to have good players? You know, it's a joke.
I mean, otherwise the prices shouldn't be that high if it was just entertainment.
Yes. Exactly.
Then it should be some funny decals or some, you know, I guess people like you didn't need a shout out on the official War Thunder YouTube channel, but that's something they could do as a prize. Like this and this person won this. Go check out their channels, and they're getting this weird decal they will give out to the followers. That would have been enough, I think. Yeah.
No, there was a disconnection. There was so many moments I remember in the past. There was this action that we were making with, I think it was Sligby and a bunch of others. Soaring Thunder was in there as a content creator, and I'll never forget it because I was in Greece with my family, sitting in the lobby of our hotel, stealing their Wi-Fi on a Discord call with some of the War Thunder moderators, thinking we had broke the code. We had a Word document that I still have somewhere on my desktop PC with all the changes that we wanted and BRs and everything. We did the work for them. And I thought, wow, like we're here on a moderator call. Surely that this is gonna make all the difference. It made fuck all difference because they didn't make any changes. Like it was just ignorance. And I'm maybe I'm to blame too. I reached out to Anton, the CEO. Like I sent him an email that was a little bit too aggressive, and then I mentioned the R word, retarded, and then he was like, "Are you calling us retarded?" And I was like, "No, like you're doing retarded things. I'm not saying you are retarded. It's just that the work that you're doing, the decisions you're making, the pressure that you're putting onto the developers, your moderators, your admins, it's killing the company. You're wasting money." And no reply was heard from since. And it's painful because, a part of me thinks that maybe if I was more friendly and more polite and I wasn't such a cunt back then, as Mags would say it, maybe that would have made the difference. But ultimately, I think so many of us tried. So many of us failed. Like, I'm not Tucker Carlson who can get put in on a podcast like this. And maybe that's what's missing. Maybe we need one of those. Maybe the biggest YouTubers should download Gaijin, and then that would make a difference. But